Let's start by talking about the size and nature of this gang. You've actually written a detailed article about this issue for the New Arab, and in it you write, branding these gangs as potential rivals to Hamas masks the very goal of why Israel created them in the first place. Around 300 untrained thieves, drug dealers, criminals, and convicted murderers cannot overpower Hamas's estimated 30,000 militants. So, in your view, what is Israel's real goal in setting up this militia, and how exactly has it supported them?
The guy that Israel claims to be the head of the most fearsome gang in Gaza is about 1.50 meter tall. He's very short with a squint eye, very weak, no muscle mass, no character, illiterate, dropped out of school at an early age, and a long history of drug-related offenses. He was in prison for 25 years before October 7th, almost 10 years before today, in 2015, for possession of large quantities of narcotics, basically marijuana and other drugs as well. Basically, he escaped after October 7th, and the only lifeline that was extended to him was Israel, because they couldn't find any person in Gaza that was willing to collaborate. So Netanyahu chose what would be a perfect match for his own personal dilemma: criminals on the run from authority who know that if the genocide is over, they would end up in prison just like him. And that's what you have on your hand, basically a bunch of collaborators. I've literally looked through the names of the prominent leaders of the gang, and I got about 20 names so far. And basically the overwhelming majority of them are either known or convicted drug dealers, murderers, collaborators, ISIS members, or thieves. So Israel is creating this mini group of criminals on the run who have a vested interest in collaborating to survive, and trying to use them as a front to advance the genocide. Israel has no intention whatsoever to use that gang to challenge Hamas. They did not engage in any battles whatsoever against the Qassam brigades. They did not engage in any combat whatsoever that we know of. The only incidents that we know of is basically Hamas ambushing some members of the gang. And every time that happens, most of the time the IDF would intervene and bomb policemen or volunteers or anyone whatsoever that would try to get near them. And they're there just basically to advance the starvation, while at the same time building a concentration camp in eastern Rafah to lure people there with the very aid that they have been looting systematically. And they're there to advance basically complete societal collapse in Gaza, try to spread terror as much as possible, organize criminal activities throughout Gaza, attacking shopkeepers, markets, whatever businesses are still there that haven't been destroyed by Israel. And they're there finally to be basically slaves for the IDF, to outsource risks to Israeli soldiers. So every time Israelis are about to enter an area, they first send the drones, and then the dogs, and finally the tanks, and then the soldiers. The soldiers are the very last to walk on foot once they guaranteed the area is completely clear. Now the hierarchy changed. They send those gang members, and then the drones, then the dogs, then the tanks, then the soldiers.